name's Alex. I say those two geeks, but it is only me today, so do the math, I suppose. Today, I wanted to talk about the Hasbro stream for Marvel Legends that was on May 29th, so a couple of days ago now at this point. If you've listened to the show at all over the last couple of years, you'll know that Joe and I are both fans of action figures. Specifically Marvel Legends, I would say, in terms of what we tend to focus most on, but by all means, no, not only Marvel Legends. Hasbro revealed, revealed on the stream on the 29th. So I think that was Wednesday. On Wednesday, they revealed the Fantastic Four wave to support the new movie coming out, which I think is coming out next month. I actually don't have the date in front of me, so I'm not going to try and make it up. You had the Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm, two versions of Johnny Storm, both Flame On and Flame Off. The Silver Surfer, Mr. Fantastic, and the Thing. Again, so full disclosure, I'm probably not going to pick up many of the ones that we're talking about. However, all of these figures look pretty damn good. Um, Thing looks great. Mr. Fantastic again looks really good. The Pedro Pascal likeness is pretty spot on. I couldn't tell you what the likeness is for Johnny Storm and why am I blanking on Sue Storm's name? Invisible Woman, and even the Silver Surfer, because I haven't actually seen any of the trailers for the movie and don't intend to see any trailers for the movie. So that might be a lie. So I can't tell you what the likeness is, but the figures look pretty good. Again, not ones I'm going to be pre-ordering or even picking up. I tend to stay away from MCU for the most part. But I think for those of you who do collect MCU, these are great looking additions to your shelf. This is probably far better than I think a lot of us were expecting. I like the fact that Mr. Fantastic has two different bendy arms. I sometimes wish we had the full body bend as well that we got in one of the earlier legends, but ultimately beggars and choosers, right? The Flame On, Flame Off Johnny Storm are slightly different molds, I think, in terms of additional flame effects on the Flame On mold, but both of them look really good. If I had to be honest, I would probably go for the Flame Off if I was going to pick up the full, but again, that's neither here nor there. And Sue Storm has the standard, what looks to be the standard invisible shield, and otherwise she's fairly effectless, I suppose. And then what can you say about the Thing? Probably all new sculpting. I can't really tell. I wouldn't be surprised if they reused parts of one of the other things that have been released recently, um, without really digging in and analyzing pixel by pixel. I don't know. But I think what excited a lot of people, and I can't speak for Joe because he's been sick all week with probably COVID again, so I can't tell you what his thoughts are on these. But in terms of what excited me was the Gameverse reveal. Now, you must be living under a rock if you aren't aware that Marvel and Hasbro have been slowly releasing the Marvel side of the Marvel versus Capcom roster. I don't anticipate they're ever going to touch the Capcom side. My cat is scratching shit in this room and it's driving me nuts. I don't imagine they'll ever touch the Capcom side, especially with Jada Toys doing a really great Street Fighter line, and probably some other great figures in the line from that roster. Now, of all of these two packs, the only one I am thinking of getting is the Wolverine and Silver Samurai pack. Silver Samurai looks like almost complete reuse with some maybe new shoulder pads, and I think there might be a different skirt. Other than that, I think it's all reuse from the retro card Silver Samurai from I think that was what 2019, pre 2020 is all I know. Wolverine looks like an entirely new sculpt. That would be the reason I'd be picking up this two pack. I think Wolverine looks fantastic. He looks absolutely. I think there's a double ball joint on his torso. Only single joint elbows, but ultimately with Wolverine figures with double jointed elbows, you can't really do a whole lot anyway. So I don't think you're missing out anything there. And then double joint knees, etc. So the articulation in the body allows him to get a much deeper crouch. I'm super excited for that one. I I'm less excited for the Psylocke Thanos 2-pack, mostly because I don't really care about Thanos. Now, Thanos looks to be, and again, haven't really studied this before and after, so he looks to be a recoloring of the, I want to say it's a Walmart Thanos from a few years back. Could be wrong. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be right. Psylocke is on the super articulated body. The I can't think of the ab flex and ball jointed torso. She's, I think this pack is going to sell out for her, and you'll probably see a few Thanoses available on the aftermarket. She is the reason I would want to be buying this 2-pack. I don't think I can justify buying a 2-pack for one figure when I expect it's going to be a bit more expensive than normal. But again, if you're going for it, I think it's going to be really good for you. The next one that was revealed, Omega Red and War Machine. This one's a Walmart exclusive. I don't think the other two are. I they're exclusive to anywhere, but I could be wrong. Omega Red, if you have one of the other two, either from the Wolverine 5-pack or the God, what was it from? There's a builder figure from a while back. The Omega Red. It was a might even have the Wendigo line, I think. Uh, if you have that one, you've probably got this one. There might be some minor alterations, but for the most part, it's going to be the same, largely the same figure. War Machine, I don't give enough of a shit about War Machine anyway to be able to tell you if this is all new or not. But I do see a lot of happy reaction from folks online in regards to that. The the next 2-pack that came up, Captain America and Venom. It is a light blue Venom, not too different, I assume, from the Walmart exclusive Venom that was released, I think it was last year, the year before. So not too dissimilar from that one. Looks fantastic. If you have that, you'll know what you're getting into. And Captain America has no scale mail, and I think it's otherwise a very similar mold to the 80th cap, aside from the lack of scale mail. What's going to excite a lot of people about it is A, the shield is full and complete, no holes or anything, so no need to try and worry about that. And B, we finally have a Captain America with butterfly joints. Yes, butterfly joints in the shoulders and a Captain America figure. Halle fucking Luya. Now, if you already have one of the 80th caps or Secret Wars caps, I don't know if that's enough to justify buying the 2-pack if you don't really care about Venom. It wouldn't be for me, but your mileage may vary. If you also need a Venom, then hey, it's fantastic, right? You can't go wrong with that. The next reveal, and I'm saying the next reveal, this is just the next one on my list as I wrote them down, is Shumagorath, who has been renamed as Gargantos. I My understanding is this is actually because of the name Shumagorath comes from a Conan book of some kind, and this is to avoid copyright with the Howard estate. His name has been changed to Gargantos. It's one of those things. I think it's probably easier to change a name than deal with copyright, and I kind of understand that. So it is what it is. The the figure looks really unique, and I kind of want it just because of what it is. It looks to be a so if you don't know what Shumagorath is, it's basically an eye in a body with 6 tentacles coming off it, almost like a starfish with an extra point, and the shoulder shoulder joints in quotations from where the tentacles connect to the main part of the body. They look to have like a ball joint, but the tentacles themselves seem to be uh, wired and entirely posable on their own. So I'm super excited for this one. I think it's going to look fantastic on the shelf. I think even the eyelid has articulation to it. So that this is 100% new tooling. I think it's going to look amazing, and I cannot wait to try and get my hands onto this one. The the last of the Gamerverse reveals this time was Juggernaut, and Juggernaut is entirely new sculpting. if you have the Colossus 2-pack or the Build-A-Figure, you will be looking at, I think he's slightly bigger. He has a ball joint on the upper torso, swivel waist. Other than that, the joints seem to be very similar, but he is bigger than the other one. I think he looks to be, if the other one is, I think he's like 7 inches, 7.5 inches, this one looks to be closer to 8.5, maybe 9 inches. I won't be getting him because I don't need him. However, if you don't have a Juggernaut, I would hold off on buying one of the other ones on the aftermarket right now and wait to see if you can get your hands on this one. He looks fan-fucking-tastic. I think that's all of the reveals for the Legends, for the Gamerverse line that had that was coming out. There were a couple of leaks as well from. Bear with me as I try and find this. All right. Apologies for that. So it looks like the leaks seem to be, and again, these are leaks, rumors, nothing to confirm over, but if they're true, I think it'd be pretty exciting. Enchantress and Dark Spider-Man from the Dark Avengers, Werewolf by Night, I Bowman, Warbow, sorry, from Crystal. Clearly, have Master Universe on my mind for saying Bowman. Or Bow. The Phantom Rider. I wonder if they're going to do the horse build figure, or if the horse is going to be included, or just not included at all. It would be interesting to see. I kind of hope it is the horse is included somehow. There's some kind of Iron Man. I can't recognize the suit because not a big Iron Man fan. And what looks to be yet another Wolverine in street clothes, possibly in World War II, based on the image it was used for leak. But again, it's so hard to tell when with the Wolverines. Is it actually going to be new? Is it going to be new tooling? Is it going to be a reuse of what we have? Based on what's there, I would not be surprised if it was a primary reuse of the 2-pack with Sabretooth. That one, I can see that one being reused for this. Again, it could be wrong. If it's a Wolverine, it's probably going to end up on my shelf, though. I have far too many, and clearly I'm not done collecting Wolverines. Either way, could be interesting to seeing what comes out, how many of them are actually coming out. See what happens. All right, that unnecessarily awkwardly long pause aside, I don't really have too much left to talk about today. As I said, my cat is scratching everything. She's kind of going insane being trapped in here, but she did try to desperately get in the room with me and now realizes she doesn't want to be here. So that's also par for the course. Her brother has been quietly sitting on my chair. So I've actually been doing this entire show on my knees on the floor because I'm loath to move a cat, apparently. And that said, I don't have any final thoughts. Joe obviously has no final thoughts because he's not here. And despite having a few people who have always said, "Oh, hey, if you're ever in a pinch, let me know. I'm happy to hop in." I kind of did this last minute, so I apologize, guys, if you're wondering why I didn't hit you up. It's purely because I realized what time it was and thought I better get something done. And here we are. So on that note, I will catch you next week. I assume Joe will be with us next week. We'll find out. And if he's not, maybe next week I'll have an actual plan of what to talk about next week. We'll find out.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games. you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.